from Perspective School. So there are some places I enjoy visiting more than others. For the good one is my grandparents' house, which is because I get the cookies and pies that my grandma makes homemade. And then my grandpa will talk about hunting and guns with me. And then the bad one is school, is because I don't like sitting still and doing homework. Neither of these are as good or as bad as we'll be talking about today. So in Revelation 20:11 through 15, it says, "And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire." And my question for you today is, where will you spend eternity? All of us one day will have to stand before God in judgment at the end times. 2 Corinthians 5:10 says, "For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that every one may receive things done in his body according to that he hath done, whether it be good or bad." Romans 14:12 says, "So then every one of us shall give account to God, to himself." There are only two places that we will have to spend eternity in, and the first one is heaven. John 14:2 says, "In my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you." In Revelation 21:4, "And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." 1 Corinthians 2:9 says, "But it was written, I have not seen, nor ear hath heard, neither have entered into the heart of man, the things which God hath prepared for them that love him." We can try to picture how heaven is, but our best thoughts can't even compare to how beautiful it is, to the golden streets and to the pearly gates. It's beyond human comprehension. Revelation 22:5 says, "And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither the light of the sun, for the Lord giveth them light, and there shall reign forever and ever." The greatest part about heaven is actually not just the pearly gates, golden streets, or the river that is like glass, but it's the thought. The greatest thing about heaven is being there with God and being with his holiness. And then now you may be asking, how do we get to heaven? The way we get to heaven is through Ephesians 2:8 through 9. "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and not of yourselves. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast." There's nothing we humans can do to earn heaven through it. Otherwise, we'd be able to boast and not put it all on God. And then Romans 10:9, "That if thou shalt confess the mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised from the dead, thou shalt be saved." The only way to get to heaven is to put our trust in Jesus on the cross. And then the other place we'll be talking about is hell. Revelation 21:8 it mentions many types of sinners, but ends with, "Shall have their part in the lake of fire, which burneth with fire and brimstone," which is the second death. And then Matthew 13:50, "And shall cast them into the furnace of fire, and there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth." Even though this makes hell sound horrible, it's not the worst part about hell. In 2 Thessalonians 1:9, "Who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from presence of the Lord and from the glory of his power." Just like the best part about heaven was just being there with God, the worst part about hell is being there without God and separated from him. And now you may be asking, how do we get to hell? Because I don't want to go there. And we read this verse earlier in Revelation 20:15, "And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire." In John 3:18, "He that believeth on him," for Jesus, "is not condemned, but he that believeth on him is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son. Just like we get to heaven through trusting in Jesus on the cross, we get to hell by not trusting in him. And then heaven or hell sounds like an easy destination, so why doesn't everyone just choose heaven? Because of the good stuff it sounds. But it's not a choice of horrible hell or awesome heaven, it's what to do with Jesus. And will you choose Jesus? You may say, I'm not going to choose either way. But by not choosing Jesus, you've already made your choice and gotten your spot in the lake of fire forever. The only way we can get the blessings of heaven is through Jesus. In John 14:6, Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. My question for you is, where will you spend eternity? And the answer of that question can come from the answer of will you choose Jesus.